Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Look, January was a very cold month, so it was very difficult to get people motivated and out and over to the house into the studio. So we went the Zoom route this month. So what we'll call this is state of the art Zoom edition, I guess. I'm not very imaginative if you haven't been able to tell by now. I'm pretty sure, though, that you're not here for my visual storytelling. So, if you are, though, I apologize. Sorry. I managed to catch up with Grace Kennedy this month. You might remember her from last season. We sat down, we have a chat about her life as a model and all the things that are happening to her. So we sit down again with her now, about a year later, to catch up. She's in Montreal right now on assignment, so she took a couple minutes out of her day, sat down, told us what was going on, what was up, and where the future is headed for her. After that, I sit down with Adam and Kydra from Alvego Root Theatre Company here in town. I hope I got that right. They've got a 10-minute play festival happening at the end of this month, and I wanted to kind of hip you to it so that you can get some tickets and go see it, because I love that sort of thing. The weather has already turned better, so next month, back in the studio, everything will be back to normal. But until then, enjoy the rest of the show. Grace, welcome back, and thanks for coming in and sitting down with me. I know you're kind of out and about there. You want to tell everybody where you're at?
Absolutely. So I'm just in Montreal right now. As you can see, my hair is different. So I was actually in the Redken photo shoot. So we were doing the Redken products with hairstylists. So they came from all over Canada, and we all collaborated together with models, hairstylists, and a huge hair team, basically. They did, I think it was 12 models. All in one day, and then we all got a photo shoot that day too. So it was pretty busy, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then I have three more shows coming up for them as well.
So, is this something that that your agency got you booked on, or was this something you did on your own?
Yeah, actually, it is through my agency.
So, you want to give them a quick shout out because
Oh yeah, sorry, my
yeah,
agency is the Newman Network.
yeah, good. So, okay, so how many of these have you done before?
So this is actually my first one. This was my first one this year, and then I have three more coming up. So just starting to get really booked up with them.
Okay, so let me ask the questions because I'm a very, very amateur level kind of, pro photographers, like the whole like lights, camera.
Absolutely. The photo shoot itself was pretty quick at the end. The hair was more of the what took the longest, of course. So basically we got there. The hairstylist kind of had like a little meeting. It was so cute. And then they all went and got their models. They styled all of our hair for like, I would say probably 5, 6 hours. And
Yeah,
then after that, we did like a photo shoot for maybe 10 minutes. And then that was it.
yeah. The photo shoot, once you're done up, the photo
Oh
shoot,
yeah.
like yeah, you could take several hours, but an hour, for top to bottom, if you wanted to just there was something you want to nail or something.
They have strict timing and stuff like that too. So they're scheduled very well.
Well, we've all seen that video of that kid who hits his marks. He hits him like 12 marks. And he's like bang, 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 bang,
Yeah.
and they're just bang, 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 and he just catalog shoot, go, 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 go.
Mhm.
Would you say this is the biggest thing that you've done so far, like as far as organizational and
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the biggest brand that I've worked for sure.
yeah, yeah? Is this for like a print moving forward, or was this just internal?
I believe so. I think it might be for their YouTube as well. They didn't really tell the models exactly what we were doing it for.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll find out later,
yeah.
but I know that I'm doing two runway shows for them, and then I believe another photo shoot.
And how many more days are you there for?
So I'm actually leaving tomorrow, and then I'm coming back on the second for a 1 day kind of event thing, and then
Nice,
leave again. Yeah.
nice. So look, Grace, you're cooking. You're cooking away, and I'm sure that means something else to kids these days. We're cooked or whatever, but you're burning with gas now. So you've been a busy young woman in this last. It's been about a year. I mean, let's just call it a year and just be easy. So what's going on? What's new? You're modeling. You're doing the thing.
To be honest, I actually took like a little bit of a break from modeling just to kind of recompose myself. And I also got stepped into a different career path. So I've been doing like restaurant management. And then alongside of that, that, I've also been managing their social media and creating content for them as well. So, of course, creating content for another business, that always kind of takes the forefront. So my stuff kind of took a step back. But then I started kind of ramping up back in December, just like kind of quietly booking things through my agency and things like that, just so that this year would kind of just start flowing
Yeah.
with modeling right away.
Yeah. Well, this is why we're here, right? Like the idea that you've got these two hats at the very minimum, you're modeling versus your restaurant. The restaurant takes up all your time. The evenings, is that are you usually there during the day, or are you there in the evening?
I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not a time I'm usually not there,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
You and I can bond on that because yeah, I'm in and out of the restaurant business, and it really does consume your life, and it's really
Mhm.
hard to. The hours are such that by the time you are done or you got to be ready for work, there's no time on either end to kind of do that.
Yeah, I do. I love my job though, and I love my boss. So it's nice. I don't like, I'm not dreading going in for those hours or anything like that. It's a lot of fun and it's a lot, it's very telling how you can take one business and transition it into another. So I learned a lot about business and organization, all that different type of stuff. And now I'm just kind of transitioning it into my own modeling business as well.
We worked together in, was it late November or early December when we did that Christmas shoot?
Yeah, it was like right at the beginning of
Yeah,
just
if it was more than 2 days ago, I don't remember when it was. So that for me, that was the first thing for me. That was I was a little intimidated by that. That was a lot of fun. Again, finding that time to do that work. Have you found that your stress levels are okay though doing that? Like you're still making it, you're still doing it?
Oh yeah, my job actually helps a lot because I make my own schedule because I am the manager at the restaurant. So
Mhm.
it does help that I have a little bit of control over that. And my bosses are great. I've worked with them. I actually worked with them previously for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I know them really well. They're like friends to me and stuff like that. So of course you can get stressed, but a lot of the times it's not insanely stressful. I've had worse jobs before and
Yeah.
dealing with all the things. My boss is actually really helpful because she also has runs businesses herself.
Right.
So she kind of shows me how to like manage it and maintain it and like delegate as well. So yeah,
I like hearing that because there's nothing worse than a manager who won't tell you anything.
yeah.
You know, yeah. The idea is that you get all these little bags of knowledge and things that you work and you just carry it along with them as you get older and you get more mature and you realize where you are in life. So you've got restaurant management now, you've got social media, and it all culminates eventually somewhere, right?
It does.
How much time would you say that the social media takes out of your day?
I have to do that on top of my job. So what I have been doing is if I make myself food or something like that, I just film myself. Or I've been doing like short B-rolls and stuff when there's like downtime at work and I have all my work done. So I kind of do it like throughout my days and I just have like a checklist of stuff that I need to get and then I'm gonna compile a whole like I have a whole strategy done and everything. Yeah, I'm just kind of like in the working process, but it is kind of hard to balance like filming and actually running the restaurant itself. So sometimes I do lack on the social media side, I will say that, but it's been really fun and I graduated film school and then unfortunately when I graduated film school, the film industry wasn't really happening. So I had to pick another avenue really quickly and that's why I went into modeling because I figured I'd still be able to like stay in the industry. I'd still be able to like learn about like lighting. There's always different ways that you can learn. And if I'm learning in front of the camera, I can always translate that to behind the camera and things like that. So that was my thought process. And then the model kind of took off.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of pushing myself back into that film. So it's been hard for me just because I am doing it all by myself while also,
Yeah.
making pitas and cleaning and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I have an actual job to do. So I have to make sure that actually gets done first. So
Yeah.
it is hard balancing. I won't say that, but it's been really fun to push myself and to think of what I can create for this business and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I've never, like with modeling, it's mainly centered around yourself, but
Yeah.
products, videos, stuff like that, there's so much different stuff to learn.
Mhm.
So I've just been kind of really pushing myself to learn and really pushing myself to create more for my portfolio. And it's been really fun.
Yeah. Ultimately, that portfolio is what makes it, right? At the end
Yeah.
of the day, you've got the film background and stuff. That social media could easily consume your day if you really wanted to. But yeah, keeping your finger on the pulse of everything is a very smart way to go, and you don't ever really leave the pool.
Yeah,
Amy,
exactly.
got you. I know that London, the film scene in London is starting to heat up a little bit. Do you have a plan for that, or is that just I'm just thinking about it again?
Yeah, because I kind of got put into that role for my restaurant, then that's when I started really thinking about it again. I had to take a pause on the music videos because that my boyfriend actually found somebody and they're collaborating on making their own kind of music and things like that. So I had to
Yeah.
stop what I was doing just because the beats that they were using are kind of similar to what I was doing with what his stuff was. So just for
Okay.
legal
Yeah.
and
Too
stuff like
close.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to kind of put a pause and so those albums should actually be like hopefully released soon.
Okay.
But yeah, he's in the making of making he's currently making albums.
Okay.
So I had to take a pause on my music videos. So once that happened, I kind of just didn't really know where to go creatively. So then I got given this like, well, I didn't get given this, but I
Yeah.
applied for this restaurant job and then it also came with the social media as well. And yeah, that's it just it's funny how the universe just kind of tells you like, no, you are supposed to be doing this. You just that's not how you were supposed to be doing this. You're just supposed to take a moment and really like relax in it. And then we're gonna give you the perfect opportunity for it. So mainly what I'm focusing on doing is trying to pick up businesses within my small community to
Okay.
make videos for because I believe in supporting local and if there's any way I can support local like they making ads for them or anything like that just so that to help their businesses then what I'm going to do is start compiling a website so that other people can start booking me but that's kind of my vision and my goal for my
Yeah.
business.
Well, there's always that fine line too, because you hear about people who've taken their passion and changed it to a job.
Mhm.
And while I've never had that opportunity to say that I've actually done that, um, I've heard them not complain because that's not the right word, but definitely the this idea that your passion has become a job and it's something that you have to slave at in order to do.
Mhm.
Some of us have never had, like I said, have never had that. I've always been working at something else, so like anything that I can get, this will never be a career for me.
Mhm.
So do you want to get into film? Like, do you still want to go back to that, or are you finding that maybe you're because the modeling is good, but the modeling really sends you in a direction, right?
Yeah, the modeling does, but what modeling does is also open networks for me within the industry so that I could potentially get other jobs and things like that. Like when I went to this modeling job at Redken, there was actually a woman who worked in film. The
Mm-hmm.
first thing she said is, "We'll keep in touch and I might be able to get you a job on crew." So within modeling, that's kind of what I was saying like before when I said I wanted to stay in the industry. I needed to find a way into the industry. It's just really networking. That's really what this business is like art and creativity and all that is really about. And there's so many people doing so many different things, like, and they wear so many different hats in this industry that I think I'll always kind of dabble in everything, if that makes sense. But film will always be my bottom line passion, right? And you can, the best part of film, and that's the reason why I chose film, is that you can always bring it into every part of every single job, every single life. It's a part of everything.
Yeah.
So there's never like a disconnect from film if I'm doing something else. I'm always bringing film into it and figuring out how I can use it to tell a story and things like that.
Grace, that's wonderful. I that's exactly what I wanted to talk about and
Yeah.
exactly why we're here. So, so you've got a little bit moving on. Come spring, summer, have you got any massive projects that are coming?
Not yet. I'm kind of just mainly focusing on the 3 month quarters. So right now
Okay.
I'm filling up January, February, March.
Yeah.
So February is pretty much full, leading into March, and then I only have like a few weeks left in March, and then yeah. So because I'm so busy, that's what I usually do. I focus on 3 months, and then obviously you can fill in tiny things ahead of time, but
Yeah.
I don't worry about the the future. The universe is going to provide for me. I know that. So I just kind of keep rolling with what I have now and just keep booking things, and I know that everything's going to work out. Because if you over plan then
Oh,
you just have an expectation for something, and
yeah.
then typically life doesn't let you do that. So
Yeah.
I'm giving the universe room to work in my life basically right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Allow yourself to get those rays from wherever they hit. And That's great. That's amazing, Grace. Look, it's been great talking to you again. I'm sure. Look, I want to work with you again before, but I'll figure out when your time is, when you've got the
Absolutely.
time. But enjoy the rest of your time. Look, I'm looking forward to seeing the copy and the worksheet to see what they produced, because I mean, it your work speaks for itself.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very
So,
excited to see it as well. I'm not sure if or when it will be released, but yeah, looking for it. It's Redken, so
right, kid. Yeah, look, I've worked on a couple of projects that when you were done and you handed it in, they never saw the light of day. So you
yeah,
never know, right?
you never know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's very exciting. You can see it in my hair, at
Yeah,
least.
that's right. Yeah, I thought maybe there was something wrong with the camera, but not. So it's
No.
good. It's good. Grace, thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you
Enjoy
so
your time. Okay. Bye
much.
bye. Thank you very much for taking some time out today and joining me on the show. Please introduce yourself to the viewers.
My name's Adam Corrigan Holowitz. I'm the artistic director of Alvego Root Theatre.
And my name is Kydra Ryan, and I am the Associate Artistic Director of Alvego Root Theatre.
Nice. And how long have you two been in those positions?
So I founded Alvego Root in 2009.
Oh.
And so I've been artistic director since then. So we're in our 18th season right now.
I joined in 2017 as an actor, and as the Associate Artistic Director, I think that's been since 2021.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So a few years for one of you, and a lot of years for the other. What was your journey kind of before you got to this? Like I was reading all your stuff that you've got up on the website, but it's nicer to hear it from you yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Alvego Root's gone through three stages in its time. So I founded the company when I was 12, 13 years old. And
Wow.
it was with people like Jason Ripp and Don Flexer and John Turner, who you dearly missed. And for the first kind of, while I was in high school, it was a community company of some seasoned people and some new people. And in that time, we found our focus, which was to tell local stories and develop original local plays. When I went to theater school for acting and then for playwriting and dramaturgy and directing, the company turned into a summer company for early career artists, for those of us who are, on our breaks from theater school and looking for work to do in the summer. And it took kind of a bit more of a mature stance then. And then since I graduated from theater school in 2019, for the last kind of half decade or so, we've been a professional ensemble company that develops local plays, provides new play dramaturgy opportunities for playwrights of all levels who live within this region. And also we really take delight in providing audiences with a real wide range of theater that is exciting, that's provocative, that doesn't just reflect our community but also can refract our community and show that artistic lens and how this city that I love influences the work we do.
Fair.
Yeah, so I joined in that second iteration when Adam was still in school and I was just coming out of school, and it's been really fun to be part of watching this company grow. When everything shut down in 2020, we were actually just on our way out of school, and when we were supposed to be hopefully getting all those opportunities that were, people supply for young people under 25, they all just kind of disappeared for us, and we were on our own to figure it out. So we, in this last iteration, have been working on building up a venue out of the Manor Park Memorial Hall. And, over the last couple of years, 3 years, we've been doing fundraising. So we've been able to get audience risers, and we just got our lights for our last show. And so it's really becoming a really cool venue that we get to perform out of all the time and bring in community members to perform in too. So
before we jump into the 10-minute play festival, just out of personal curiosity, have you found that the work has been influenced by the audience, or have you found that the audience has come to you for the work?
Great question.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
You thought of that?
Yeah, I do have a thought on that. So there's certain moments that make you feel like you're going down the right path when you do local works that speak to people. And there's this moment. We did a show at the Highland last year, and after the show, this was like a historical piece, but there were certain parts that we had to fill in with like artistic license. So
Of course,
we wrote
yeah.
this little romance that weaved throughout, and we had a man come up to us who was starting to talk to us about his own romance that he had when he went to the theater as a kid, and how it really resonated with him, and it felt local, and it was very sweet. And we have those moments a lot, especially because the work is grounded in the community. So you don't get that the same way when you do old classical pieces. Like they don't relate as closely. And so to see the audience moved in such a heartwarming way, it makes it all worth it.
Well, with that in mind, you've created this 10-minute play festival. Give me a little bit of background on that. How many years have you been doing that? And give me a quick synopsis.
All right. So this is actually only our second time running it. We have seven plays in the festival this year. We had 7 plays last year. It's kind of amazing to see how the community comes together for it. Did you want to say anything, Adam?
No, I think it was Kydra's idea originally to create this festival, and people the variety is fascinating. People who maybe don't come and audition for us or submit otherwise, we meet them, we encounter them through the festival. So, and you've got people from all kind of corners of the artistic community in the city rubbing shoulders and connecting. So there's a great kind of impact and catalyst, I think, that the festival causes.
Yeah, so this festival came out of, once again, 2020, we lost a lot of our local London festivals. There's not a lot of way for giant groups of artists to connect unless you're doing big community theater musicals. For us, as a small new play development company, we can only work with a handful of artists at a time. That's just the reality. That's how much we can afford, right? So this has been an awesome community initiative to get to know so many artists so quickly, provide them with a little bit of support. All the money from the festival goes to participants too. Like we really try to make sure that it's like, we aren't doing this for us, we're doing this for you. We added an award element to it this year just to encourage like friendly competition to create resume experience, because 10-minute plays can be a lot of artists first, not just 10-minute plays, but short plays can be a lot of artists first foray into playwriting. And we would love to see more playwrights come out of this festival. We also do the Cambium playwriting unit too, in order to try and encourage a new generation of playwrights. So
it's a 1-2 punch, right? Because you've also got directing, you've got the writing. One of these has fight choreographer. One, you know what I mean? So like, it seems like you've got your fingers in a bunch of different learning teachables. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of people who are directing for the first time in the festival as well. And we're fairly hands off, but we do have an hour here or there where I can sit and work with the directors and say, okay, this is how you might communicate this with an actor, because writing, directing, acting included, there's the technique which you need to have, but there's muscle. People ask me sometimes, how do you get comfortable on stage over time? Well, it really does come down to muscle and to practice, and just as you would practice a sport, an athletic feat, you there's a point where it's hard to describe how you do it, except that it does take that time and those hours to put into it. So the play festival can be a start for people. It can, it's a rather low risk, for it's not like you're jumping in and directing an hour-long show or a 2-hour-long show as your first time directing. And I think regardless of the length, though, with any kind of artistic work, you have that moment of reflection after you go, oh, that's what I would do differently this time, or vice versa. That worked so well. That's something I'm going to hold on to in my tool chest. But there's people, the festival's made up of people who are, some are new to theater altogether. Some have done other writing practices in the past, and this is their first time working in theater. There's also people who are really experienced in theater as actors, and they're directing for the first time, and they've wanted to try that other path. And then you got people who are writing plays for the first time, and you got really experienced playwrights who are writing a new idea for the first time, trying something with some experimentation
Yeah.
in this little microcosm.
Yeah, it seems like this would be the perfect place for that, right? You get a little slice of time. I can try something different. I've got some people that I can work with. I've got so that it does sound, it sounds like I should maybe have something ready for next year. Um,
Absolutely. I think there's something so valuable about um, having a relationship with artists when you're leading a company. There's there's so much, and it still happens despite all the talk of the times changing. There's so much intimidation that goes into people submitting to companies, people auditioning, people working, and you really don't see someone's true work.
mm,
Their full ability if they're feeling under pressure, and you can't really learn in that environment either. It's much better to be able to have a relationship where you can have that long-term conversation and you can be frank and you can be honest,
yep.
but in a way that the teachers and mentors who I admire most are the ones who I knew always pushed me forward and weren't pushing me down. And
Yeah.
that's a fine line difference, but it's a very big one. And you want to I hope the people who I really admire are the ones who I always felt were in my corner
Yeah.
and are in my corner. And I do my best, and I think and Kydra does as well, to make sure we can be in the corner for people, and then they're in the corner for us. But
Yeah.
having that support there and having that kind of coaching mentality where you can adjust
Yeah.
and give feedback that's useful. I mean, I think it's something really powerful. When I'm teaching anyone in the theater, I think there's something so optimistic and encouraging about telling someone in a way you can do better
Mm,
versus,
mhm.
oh, that's the best you can do, or you did your best is such a mean thing to say when you think about it. It means
Yeah.
there's nowhere to
Yeah.
grow versus you can do better because you have that ability, you have that potential, and we all have that. If I'm
Yep.
working on a new play, I know I can do better. I know I can build and
Yeah.
adjust and
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah. And that's why you do things like you test stage it. You put it up on stage, and you have an audience come in, and you have them write down exactly what it was, and then you can kind of go back and do it, and do it, do it, do it, reiterate it. The same show. Look, this is exciting. Give me some dates. Give me where can I get tickets?
February 27th, 28th, and March 1st.
Okay.
We've got two evening shows on the Friday and Saturday, and there's two matinees on the Saturday and Sunday. Tickets can be found at alvegoroottheatre.com. And there's three price ranges. It's pay what you can or pay what you can afford. There's a $10 ticket, $20 ticket,
25.
$25 ticket, and $35 ticket. And it's up to everyone's discretion to decide what's the right price for them at this time.
That's fair. That's fair. You got people who are generous and people who are, but you don't want to exclude the people who can't necessarily, afford the big ticket, because that's the other thing, isn't it? Though, so much theater sometimes.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of theater, and
Yeah.
London's always been a theater town, and there's a lot happening again, and people are a lot of different stuff from musicals which are being done fantastically to new work to
Yeah.
big shows, small shows, and it's exciting. And the Memorial Hall hosts a lot of those community groups too when they're doing
Yeah.
dramas and smaller works. Yeah,
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
No
Bye.
problem. See ya. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Of course, I always appreciate it. Just a quick reminder, last month I had Karen Hendry on, coming up on March 7th at the Masonville Coles and March 14th at the Indigo North London. She's got a book signing going on, so go buy her book and go get it signed and go talk to her and tell her how much you love her book. It's from 12 to 4 on both those days. So March 7th, Masonville Coles, and March 14th, North London Indigo. So go check her out. See you next month.